Trunk flexion. So this one, how much work am I
Trunk
doing?
flexion.
Yeah, no, not very much. Yeah, easiest main muscle testing ever. This is the one where for 3, 4, 5, is this a correct position for her legs? So what I wrote on the board, yes it is. Next year I'll tell you why I hate it. But for right now, yes, good. Okay, so I should check to see if she is a 3 first before I ask her to do the 4 and the 5. Before I make it more aggressive, let's see if she's at least a 3. So what was a 3? What's the position? Arms at the sides. What does she have to show me to achieve a 3?
Inferior angle of the scapula off the table.
You bet. Her whole scapula must not be on the table. Perfect. And am I doing anything down here, supporting, anchoring down, sitting on her feet? On this one I am not. So up here, I would give her instructions. The only thing I can do here is to palpate to make sure that her scapula did what I want it to do. Yeah? So I would say you're going to do a sit-up. I want you to roll up. Yeah? Go ahead and sit up. Good. So that was even more than I needed. So my cues weren't so good. I told her to do a sit-up, and she sure did it. So I would say instead, can you just lift your body until you get to about this point in your back, and I might even touch that for her. So can you do that crunch and just go to here? Good. What grade is she?
3.
At least a 3. So let's check if she's a 4. So now hands are here. She made it. She's a 4. Is she a 5? Let's check. Okay. Fantastic. She's a 5. If she was not a 3 in that first thing, arms down, I would say, can you lift up and don't make it? Oh, she didn't make it. So I know she's not a 3. That's what I know so far. Now I bend her knees. Hook line position. And now arms are still at the sides. And for a 2, she should be able to either go partial range or in this position clear her scapula. Both of those are going to be called a 2. Oh. So go ahead and lift up. Good, so that's partial range. I feel good about it. If she didn't do that well, I can palpate her abdominal muscles. Now just give me a trace. So I would tell her the same cues. Do a sit-up, do a crunch, and all I feel is a contraction. And that's a 1. Easy, right? Questions about that one? No tears in the eyes?
Like if somebody was beating really hard with their back, then you take that into account.
So compensation, yes, so if they do this violent thrusting thing with their neck,
On the next
momentum, and you'll see people do that, that's a compensation. I would like for the head to stay relatively still and everything else roll up. The other compensation was that she holds an isometric contraction and then hinges her way up, because that's really a test for what muscle? Yeah, it's almost like a funny iliopsoas manual muscle test. You got it, exactly. So for this one, you have to instruct for your patients to roll up segmentally and to get to their middle back.
What about the hands for momentum?
So if you have their hands here, right, and you're checking for a 5, and they do that, you know what I want you to cheat with? Yeah, so if she cheats, go ahead. Yeah, and she, oh, okay, good, don't do that anymore. Yeah, that like darn near close to like a cervical manipulation. Don't love that either. So you can say, rest your fingers behind your head, but don't yank on your head, which is really tempting, especially in a clinic because your patient really wants to do well, right? And if you're like, all right, I'm going to start you with a 5, and you put them here, and you say, I want you to sit up, then they're going to figure out a way to sit up if they can, right? And they might compensate. So that's why we start with a 3, because it's safe. Is that clear?